everybody, I'm Robert Tomlinson, Commissioner of the USA eBaseball Power League, and welcome to the Week 8 USA eBaseball Power League Roundup Show. As promised, we had a dramatic week in the USA eBaseball Power League in the final week of the regular season, and it came down to the final game of the season for two teams to determine who would go to the playoffs as the final seed and who would win the regular season championship. We're going to take you through everything that went down in Week 8, but first, a look at the standings as we head into tonight's matchups. Coming into the final week of the regular season in the USA eBaseball Power League, Zumikaku and the North Shore Honu are on top with a record of 19-5 with a positive 63 run differential. Then you have B. Farrell's Philadelphia Bandits and YG's Green Revolution at 18-6, with the Bandits in second thanks to their series win over the Revolution earlier this season. Then you have Compass's Space City Comets in fourth and Sir Bacon Bits' North Pole No Sox in fifth, both with 17-7 records. Then you have MC Scales' Crowhoppers at 16-8 in 6th place, Penguin Pouch's Soda Beer Sunrise in 7th at 15-9, and I Pump Plastics' Lost City Monarchs at 8th place and a 14-10 record. In 9th you have Big Sid's White Comets, who sit at 12-12 and still have a shot at the playoffs. However, you look at the bottom half of the standings, and you also have M. Frisk's Crew in 10th at 12-12 and still in the hunt, and Slimefall's Purple Hurricanes in 11th at 11-13 and hanging on in the playoff race by a thread. Rounding out the list, you have Jeff DeBoss's Smooth Jazz in 12th at 10-14, Haha Healy's Tabby Cats in 13th at 9-15, Matt's Wild Jokers in 14th at 8-16, John's Copyrights' Bay Area Rockets in 15th at 7-17, X-Long X's Flickin' Squibs and Serena's Osaka Foxes at 5-19, and finally Clutch's Chicago Curve in last place at 3-21. Alright, with that, let's take you through what happened in Week 8, going from the series with the fewest stakes all the way to the series that had the most stakes for the regular season championship. Let's get started, shall we? We start off the show today with a look at two teams who still had a little bit to prove heading toward the end of the season. Haha Healy's Tabby Cats had one of the better runs against totals in the league coming into Week 8, but their offense left a lot to be desired throughout the entire year. Meanwhile, among teams in the bottom half of the standings, Matt's Wild Jokers had one of the best run scoring marks out of those in the bottom 8, but gave up by far the most runs out of anybody. Who would come out on top in this matchup of polar opposites? To Crown Diamond we go for Game 1 between the Wild Jokers and the Tabby Cats. Shun Komasaka in the top of the third for the Tabby Cats. Runners on first and second with 2 outs against One. Lines into right center field. Sentinel couldn't quite get it. Goes all the way to the wall. It would score not just 1 run, but a couple of runs to make it 2-0 early on in the top of the third. And that would be all that Tamura needed. Bomb third, runner on first and 1 out for the Wild Jokers. Setane with the grounder, Chirai with a great flip to Zansu, toss back to Daiichiman for the double play. Then in the bottom of the 7th, Bat Marushima on first, nearly gets picked off, gets back in safely, but then Daisuke Data pops out to Zansu for a big out there. And then the next batter, Vanguard, still with a runner on first, pops up the fastball from Tamura into left field, and that would end the inning, and there wouldn't be any more threats the rest of the way. Bottom 9, 2 outs, Bat Marushima the last chance, ground ball to the right side, Daiichiman with a good pickup, tosses it to Tamura for the out, and it's a 2-0 shutout for the Tabby Cats in Game 1 thanks to Tamura with a 4-hit shutout. Game number 2 between the Tabby Cats and the Wild Jokers, picking up top of the first, second and third, 2 outs for Yokanu Kami. Lines in to right center field for the Wild Jokers, giving them an early 2-0 lead on the 2-run single. Then, bottom of the 5th, Shindo, runners on first and second, gets a ground ball right back to the mound to end a threat for the Tabby Cats. Then the top of the 6th, Okami, once again, launching one to left center field, 2-run shot to make it 4-0, and that would be all that the Wild Jokers would need. Oda in the bottom of the ninth facing Shindo, going for the complete game, pops out to center, and the Wild Jokers take game 2 in this one 4-0. Shindo, a complete game 5-hit shutout. Ukami responsible for all 4 RBI. Game number 3 between the Wild Jokers and the Tabby Cats. This was a pitcher's duel in this one. Nijitani in the top of the 5th, striking out Zansu to end the inning. Then the bottom of the 7th, Graviton Arai facing Charai with a runner on second. A big threat there for the Wild Jokers, but a flyout ends it. Top of the 8th, Zansu at the plate for the Tabby Cats. Lines that one into left center field. Runner on first, coming to third. They send him home, and they would be safe to make it a 1-0 game. And then the floodgates would open in the top of the 9th. Daiichiman, nobody on, 1 out, launches it into dead center field to make it 2-0, and the barrage wasn't done. Next batter, Oda, with a fastball right down the middle, launching that one to right center field to make it 3-0, and then for good measure, the next batter, Graviton Arai. Ball go far, back-to-back home runs for the Tabby Cats in the 9th. They would score one more to make it 5-0. Bottom 9, 2 outs. Runners on first and second for the Wild Jokers, but a ground ball to Daiichiman would end it, and the Tabby Cats would take the series 2-1. 5-0 the final score in Game 3. On paper, the Bay Area Rockets have a lot going for them, heading toward the end of what was otherwise a lost season. John's Copyrights team were able to take current first place Zumikaku to 2 one-run games in their Week 7 series, and were heavily favored against Clutch's Chicago Curve because of it. However, the Curve still had a chance to climb out of the cellar position in the standings, and could do so with a sweep. That's motivation enough right there. So what would happen in this matchup? Let's take you out to Crown Diamond for Game 1 between the Bay Area Rockets and the Chicago Curve. Pick it up top of the 2nd. Shogo Getsu off of a meatball from Shunamagi. 2-run homer to make it 2-0. And then the top of the 4th, Shogo Getsu would strike again. Deep fly ball in the left center field, and that would get down for another run. The double makes it 3-0, and that was all the Chicago Curve needed. Bottom of the 5th, Ariki on the mound facing Doken. Gets the ground ball up the middle. Kirasaki steps on the bag for 1, throws to first for the double play. Then the bottom of the 8th, first and second, 1 out. Mine with an RBI to right field. That would score 1 run, and that made it a 3-1 ball game. So the Bay Area Rockets, a little bit of life. Then, next batter, Taku Kishida. Base hit in the left field. That would score another run, but that would be all they would get in the inning. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Last chance for the Bay Area Rockets. Arimura at the plate against Hona's run. Lines out to Kokuju at second, and the Chicago Curve get a rare win. 3-2 in Game 1 against the Bay Area Rockets. Game number 2 between the Curve and the Rockets, and we picked this one up in the bottom of the 1st. Ryuri Kirasaki against Yamaguchi. Swings and misses at that one, and that would be a theme for Yamaguchi and the Bay Area Rockets. Yamaguchi was on fire in this one. Bottom of the 2nd gets Junketsu swinging. Then in the bottom of the 2nd again, Shogo Getsu strikes out swinging. Bottom of the 3rd, Hito. Same stuff, different inning. Then the top of the 4th, the Rockets would get on the board. Mahiru Todo, the line drive into right field for a base hit. That would score 2, putting the Rockets up 2-0. And then Yamaguchi returned to work, but not before Arikata gets a base hit in the left field to make it a 3-0 ball game. And it was at that point that Yamaguchi got back to work. Bottom 6, 2 outs. Rufu Kuroe, swing and a miss there. And then Hortasugi in the bottom of the 8th, dotted on the inside corner. Then bottom of the 9th, Hito, swing and a miss for strike 3. Yamaguchi with 9 strikeouts on the day. Bottom 9, Sho Ito with 2 outs, runners on 2nd and 3rd, lines out to right field. And the Bay Area Rockets, on the strength of Yamaguchi's complete game 9 strikeout shutout, get the win in Game 2 by a final of 3-0. Game 3 for the Rockets and the Curve. This one would win the series for either team. Bottom of the 1st, DJBK with a high drive into center field. Kuroe just couldn't quite get it. Ball just out of their reach. That would be an RBI double for DJBK. 1-0 Rockets. Bottom of the 6th, Taku Kishida facing Sudo, and he launches it into left center field for a solo shot to make it 2-0. Top of the 7th, Queen Kokoro on the mound facing Horasugi, strikes him out looking. Then Shogo Getsu got him with the sinker to end the inning there. And then at the top of the 8th, Junketsu swing and a miss at a high fastball. Another great pitching performance for the Bay Area Rockets. DJBK in the 8th with a line drive base hit into left field. That made it a 3-0 ball game, and that would be pretty much curtains for the curve in this series. Top 9, 2 outs. Queen Kokoro going for the shutout, gets Nakanoshima to fly out to right field, and the Bay Area Rockets take the series 2 out of 3 to end the regular season. 3-0, the final score in game number 3. Two of the best teams from the bottom half of the table were pretty much playing for pride in the final week of the season. But M.Frisk's .Crew still had, at best, a remote shot at making the playoffs if literally everything were to go right. However seemingly impossible it may have been. The Smooth Jazz, however, had been a scrappy team all year, keeping it close in last week's matchup against the Crowhoppers. Would the Crew try to make a miracle run at the playoffs, or would the Smooth Jazz stop them in their tracks? Back to Crown Diamond we go for the Smooth Jazz taking on the Crew. Picking up bottom of the 1st, Misa Kamura with a runner on 3rd for the Smooth Jazz. Grounds out to 2nd to end the threat there. But the Smooth Jazz would break through in the bottom of the 5th. Otakara with a base hit into center field. That would score a run on Kanahara's fielding error, putting the Jazz up 1-0, and that would be more than enough for Harrison Onishi. Top of the 2nd, Onowake at the plate, strikes out swinging. They get the strike him out, throw him out, and then in the top of the 9th, Oda at the plate facing Onishi, gets a ground ball to short to end the game, and it was a quick one, but the Smooth Jazz take game 1, 1-0 over the Crew. Game number 2 between Crew and the Smooth Jazz. Bottom of the 2nd, Bunraku Edogawa launching one to right center field, just clearing the fence in right center, making it a 1-0 game. And then Chihiro Bito in the 6th inning blasts one into center field for a 2-run shot to make it 3-0, and that would be all for Roddy Bright. They would get a run though, the Smooth Jazz, in the top of the 8th. Sac fly here by Shibuya, but that would be the only run they would get in this one. We go top of the 9th. Takeda at the plate facing Roddy Bright, going for the complete game, gets a 5-4-3 double play to end it. And the Crew get a game in this series despite being eliminated in game 1, 3-1 the final score. Finally in game 3, Misa Kamura with 2 outs, runner on 2nd for the Smooth Jazz, launches one to center field just out of the reach of Kanahara. That would score a run from 2nd to make it a 1-0 ball game, and that would be more than enough. But they would get an extra run in the inning. Ochiai gets a base hit into left field. That would bring in a 2nd run to make it 2-0, and then Mileman would take it from there. Top of the 2nd, Oda at the plate does get a base hit into right field here, but it would be the only base runner that the Crew would have in this game, because Mileman was absolutely phenomenal from there. Roddy Bright striking out swinging there in the top of the 4th, then in the top of the 9th, really got to work. Saru, see you later looking. Rokudo, the next batter, got her looking there as well. And then Izuyoi with a fastball right down the pipe, looks right at it, and the Smooth Jazz win the series 2-1, winning game 3 2-0. Big Sid's White Comets came into week 8 with one mission: break out the brooms. With a sweep of X-Long X's Flick and Squibs in their matchup, the White Comets would take a crucial step towards sneaking in as the number 8 seed in the playoffs. However, they would also need a lot of help from B Farrell 10 in their series against I Pump Plastic, because if B. Farrell swept Pump, the Comets would sneak into the playoffs as the number 8 seed. However, the scrappy Flickin' Squibs were looking to end the Comets' playoff hopes to get some momentum going into the offseason. With one of the better offenses in the league, could the White Comets take that giant first step on the comeback trail? White Comets looking to make a push to the playoffs here against the Flickin' Squibs. Pick it up here in Game 1, top of the 4th. White Comets trying to get something going on offense, scoreless in the inning. Honda driving that one off the wall in center field off the fly, and that would be a leadoff double for the White Comets' third baseman. Next batter, Ken Hakasaki. Times up the forkball from Bucho perfectly into left field, gets a base hit. Anada would stop at third, but next batter, Seiya Mitsuno, grounds it up the middle. Sakamoto flips to Roppongi for the double play to Honda. That would make it a 1-0 game. And then in the 6th, Seiya Mitsuno with the bases loaded, nobody out, gets a base hit to right field to make it 2-0. And then Gyanendra Bhattarai laying down the bunt to bring in a third run. 3-0 in the 6th. And then Kaguruzaka would take it from there. Yakumask, bottom of the 6th. Dotted up. And then Roppongi in the bottom of the 8th. Swing and a miss at that high fastball. And then Sakamoto with second and third, 2 outs. Pops it up to Sakai behind the plate. And that would be the biggest rally the Flickin' Squibs would have all game. Bottom of the 9th, Reibu, last chance, facing off against Doe with a runner in scoring position. Doe makes the play, and the White Comets take Game 1, 3-0. 8 strong innings from Kaguruzaka, Mitsuno, and Inada with 2 hit games on the day. Game number 2 between the White Comets and the Flickin' Squibs. We picked this one up in the top of the 1st. Flickin' Squibs threatening with first and second, 1 out, but Okino grounds into a 3-6-3 double play. Okino just not fast enough to beat it out. And then Doe would dominate from there. In the top of the 3rd, Mitsumori striking out swinging. Then in the top of the 4th, Yakumask dotted up on the outside corner. Bottom of the 4th, White Comets looking to score here. Ken Hakasaki with a floater into center field. That would bring in a run, and that would make it a 1-0 ball game in the 4th. We stay in the 4th. Kaminari launches it into center field. Black, though, with enough range, makes the play. It would be a sac fly for the White Comets, and that would make it a 2-0 ball game. Top of the 5th, Doe would continue his dominance. Hizuka dotted up on the outside corner there. And then in the top of the 6th, Naptet could not reach that high fastball there. Once again, top of the 6th, Yakumask going with the forkball, the knuckleball. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Top of the 9th, Naptet at the plate, 1 out, bases empty. Shimada with a great leaping catch for the second out, and then Yakumask popping it up to short. Bhattarai there to make the play, and the White Comets assured themselves of at least a series victory, 2-0. Doe with a complete game shutout, 6 strikeouts, but could the White Comets complete the sweep to keep themselves in the playoff picture? Game number 3. Top of the 3rd, Teramichi with runners on second and third with 1 out. And there's a line drive center field, base hit just in front of Black. That would bring in 2 off of Hokuto to make it 2-0. And then in the top of the 6th, Kaminari timing up that fork ball from Hokuto perfectly for a 2-run shot to make it 4-0. But this game was all about that guy right there, Hope Suzakaze, in the 1st, dotting up Sakamoto on that patented fork ball. And then in the 2nd, Hizuka could not catch up to that one. And then Sakamoto swinging and missing at the knuckle curve that time for a strikeout. Bottom of the 4th, Honda. Yeah, you're gone too, bud. Bottom of the 5th, Reibu. Frozen on the fastball. And then bottom of the 7th, Kairi Okino got him looking with the forkball. Suzakaze would have 15 strikeouts on the game. That's right, 15. And then in the 9th, last chance for the Flickin' Squibs. A line out to left to end it. and the White Comets keep themselves alive in the playoff race with a sweep. 5-1 the final score, but they would still need some help. Coming into Week 8, there was a remote but not impossible scenario in which Penguin Pouch's Soda Beer Sunrise, far and away the best offense in the EPL, would not make the playoffs. However, they needed one win to get in, or a dot crew loss, which happened later in the week than this match was, and they'd have to do it against MC Scales' Crowhoppers, who clinched a playoff spot after last week's matchup. If things went well for the Sunrise, they could get a pretty good seed. But could they win against one of the dark horse teams of the season? Back out to Crown Diamond we go for Game 1 between the Soda Beer Sunrise and the Crowhoppers. And the Crowhoppers were threatening early on in this one, top of the third. Runner on first, nobody out for Kazaki, gets a base hit up the middle, but a late break from Nanook Akiak at second. And he's gunned down at third by Kyle Morales. And then a couple batters later, Tamaguchi, with a runner on second, pops out to end the threat in the third. In the bottom of the third, though, Soda Beer Sunrise threatening, but a swing and a miss by Odagiri on a hit and run. Gets the runner caught at the plate, and then base hit into center field. Throw coming home, and they got him in a pickle, and he would eventually be thrown out at the plate to end that threat. So in the bottom of the third, still, threat wasn't over at that point. Kyle Morales with the ground ball is short, and a nice play there by Gaku Morikawa to get the out. Bottom of the sixth, though, the Soda Beer Sunrise would cash in. Papillon with a grounder up the middle on a hit and run. Hebashima with the toss to first in time, but the run comes in to score, making it 1-0. Then the bottom of the seventh, Owate at the plate facing Octavia on a hit and run with Kiyomoto running, and they get a base hit just past a diving Sakigake out there in center. 2-0 the score, and that would be it for the Soda Beer Sunrise. Top 9, 2 outs, line drive into left field by Mamoru Ikari, and the side is retired. The game is over. Soda Beer Sunrise make the playoffs with a 2-0 win in Game 1 over the Crowhoppers. Taramoto, 6 good innings of pitching. Game number 2 between the Crowhoppers and the Soda Beer Sunrise. Pick this one up in the top of the first. First and second, nobody out, and Papio with a line drive base hit into right field for an RBI single to make it 1-0, and it would escalate further from there. Kiyomoto, the next batter up, gets a floater into center field. Sakigake couldn't quite get there. That would bring in another run to make it 2-0, and then after a sacrifice fly makes it 3-0, Naito makes it 5-0. 2-run homer to make it 5-0. And then it would just keep on going from there. Top of the second, first and third, 1 out. Papillon with a base hit up the middle. That would make it 6-0. Runner safe at third. And then Kiyomoto delivers. 3-run home run to dead center field to make it 9-0. And if you think 9 wasn't enough for the Sunrise, well, how about 10? Red with a solo shot to center field. And the Crowhoppers just did not have any answers to that barrage of runs scoring. Furinaga grounding out to third to end it. And in an absolute rout, a 2-inning Mercy Rule win. The Soda Beer Sunrise win it 10-0. Game 3 between the Sunrise and the Crowhoppers. And the Crowhoppers trying to get revenge for that 10-0 game. But in the bottom of the fourth, 2 outs, 1 on. Kiyomoto launches again into dead center field. 2-0 early on in this one. But in the top of the fifth, the Crowhoppers would cash in. Kazaki with the bases loaded in the top of the fifth gets an RBI there and another RBI there. 2-run single to make it 2-2. And then a couple batters later, Tamaguchi lines that one into center field for a base hit just in front of Morales. 1 run would score, but Kazaki thrown out at the plate to try to make it 4. But 3-2, top 7. Kazaki again with a base hit, and this one getting past Kyle Morales. Actually, no, that's Ogane in right field. My apologies. That would bring in a run to make it 4-2. And then still in the top of the 7th, Tamaguchi hit and run with the bases loaded. Gets 1 run in and another run in to make it 6-2, and that would be pretty much curtains for the Sunrise in this one. Ikari on the mound, Kyle Morales at the plate, ground ball to third, and Furanaga's throw is in time. The Crowhoppers salvage a game in this series, 6-3 the final. Ikari a 9-hit shutout, but the Soda Sunrise do clinch the playoffs with their results here. Both Compass's Space City Comets and Sir Bacon Bits' North Pole Noox clinched a playoff spot in the last 2 weeks. But who would be getting that higher seed in the Summit Series playoffs? Coming in with identical 17-7 records, whoever got the best of the other in this matchup would get a higher seed in the playoffs. But how high would that seed be? One of the stingiest pitching staffs in Sir Bacon Bits' North Pole Noox took on a contact hitter extraordinaire in Compass in this key Week 8 matchup. A big series with playoff seeding implications here between the Space City Comets and the North Pole Noox. Picking up bottom of the third, first and third, nobody out for Ome. Comets third baseman flies it into center field. Tanoji has a good arm. It's a good throw home, but the throw is not in time. Comets up 1-0 in the third. Top of the sixth, Noox threatening Takino. Runner on first, one out. Gets a ground ball to second. The throw is in time to first, but a little try on a sneak to third backfires. Thrown out at second to end that threat. Top of the seventh, Noox threatening Ogoe up the middle. They don't get the out at second, but they do get the out at first. Runner comes home to score from third. Tie game at 1. Top of the ninth, Ogoe at the plate. Tanoji trying to steal. Got him. And this would go into extra innings. Bottom of the 10th, Amane with a fly ball in the center field. Tanoji, again, has a good arm, but the throw, not in time. Toy comes in to score, and the North Pole Noox give up the walk-off sac fly to the Space City Comets, who win this one 2-1 in Game 1. Game 2 between the Noox and the Comets. Big one here for both teams. Top of the first, 2 outs, runner on first for Icho. Hitting the deep fly ball off of Suzumoto. That one would find the first row of the bleachers. 2-0 for the Comets early on in this one. But the Noox trying to do something in the bottom of the third. First and third, one out for Takino. Gets a ground ball up the middle. They get just the out at first. Runner comes home to score to make it 2-1. But then with second and third, 2 outs, Azuma up the middle for a base hit. 1 run would score. Tanoji with the throw home. Nothing there, 4-1. The score in this one. Then the top of the 8th, Icho again. Little floater past second. Gets a base hit. And that would score another run to make it 5-1. How about one more for good measure? Maximum Christine with another floater into right field. Takino won't be able to get there. That would score a 6th run for the Comets. Runner out at third, but it did not matter in this one. Noox could not get much going on offense. Bottom of the 9th, Taiji Simon looking for the complete game. And Kirigane flies out to the catcher Mizudori to end it. And a big 2 games there for the Space City Comets. They win game 2, 6-1. Simon, a complete game with 3 hits given up. Game 3 between Compass and Sir Bacon Bits, the Comets and the Noox. And we picked this one up in the top of the third. First and third with 2 outs for Kirigane. But a ground ball to first would end a threat there. But the Noox would cash in on a threat in the top of the fourth. Gobu with a little floater to center field. Toy can't quite get it. Goes under his glove briefly. That would score 2 runs, making it 2-0 Noox. And then from there, Haruto Alba did his thing, getting Maximum Christine swinging and missing in the bottom of the fourth to end the threat. And then the bottom of the 7th, first and third, 1 out facing Amane, gets a 6-4-3 to end that threat. Bottom of the 8th, Comets, second and third, 2 outs, Kamakari. Ground ball to third ends that threat, and the Space City Comets would get shut out in this one. Daigo gets through the last chance, and he pops out to Mamoru Ikari for the final out of this one. Noox salvage the series, 2-0 the final score, but Space City locks up the 4th seed in the EPL playoffs. All right, we've kept you in suspense long enough to reveal the fate of Big Sid's White Comets. And it all came down to this matchup between B. Farrell's Philadelphia Bandits and iPump Plastics lost City Monarchs. If B. Farrell swept iPump, they would go to 21 wins on the season, be in a top 3 spot in the table, and send Big Sid to the playoffs. But if the Monarchs won just one single game in this series, the number 8 seed would be theirs. The final seed in the EPL playoffs came down to this series, and boy, was it a good one. Let's show you how big this series was between iPump Plastic and B. Farrell 10. Game 1 got out of hand and quick. Second and third, Allen pops it up in the left field. Fukuya can't quite get the jump. 1 run would score, 2 runs would score. Early 2-0 lead for the Bandits. Allen gets to second, and then Akahara off a Yakiman 2 fastball gets it into right center field. Allen would come in to score from second to make it a 3-0 ball game. Couple batters later, Kagayaki on the base paths now for Mushika. First and second with 2 outs, and he lines that one into the left field corner. 1 run would score. That would make it a 4-0 ball game on the RBI double. And then Kadaira lofts that one in right field. That would be a base hit. 1 run scores. Big throw from Saga. The throw not in time. 2 runs would score to make it 6-0. And then with Kadaira on second, Choji Bando, the leadoff man of the game, pops it up in the left field. But Nijima could not make the play. 7-0 the score. And, well, pretty much, folks, the Monarchs could not do anything with it. Kurama, an easy 1-2-3 inning, and they invoke the mercy rule in the first inning. Bandits win this one 7-0. Allen Kadaira with 2 RBI each. Akahara, Mushika, Bando with another RBI for each of them. Game 2 between B. Farrell and iPump, and this one, a little bit more of a normal game. Saga with 1 on, 1 out, lost 1 into center field, but Kurama could not make the play. 1 run would come in to score, and this would be a triple to make it 1-0 early on in the top of the first. Then Fukuya lofts it, blasts it into right center field. 2-run dinger to make it 3-0 still in the first inning. But in the bottom of the third, Honu with the bases loaded, and he clears the bases, just getting it inside the right field foul pole for a grand slam, and the Bandits go up 4-3. There would be a couple of threats from the Monarchs the rest of the way, first and second with 2 outs there, but Yoimori grounding out to end that threat. Then in the top of the 7th, Imori against Reibukai. Big swing and a miss at that slow slider. In the top of the 9th, big try here for Naito, but it's a 4-6-3 double play to snuff out any kind of rally, and the Monarchs would go quietly the rest of the way, grounding out to second base to end the ball game, and the Philadelphia Bandits coming 1 game away from eliminating the Lost City Monarchs, winning 4-3 in Game 2. Big game for the Monarchs here in Game 3, trying to avoid elimination, and Arashi Kiba was on his game in this one. Top of the second, striking out Reibukai on the fastball, and then he'd get some help from his offense. Bottom of the third, Yakiman 5, lofting it into center field, but did not make the play. Kagayaki could not make the play. 1-0 in the third. Then in the 6th, they would get another one. Yakiman 5 into right field. Allen couldn't quite make the dive. That would score a runner all the way from first. Yakiman 5 would have an RBI triple, making it 2-0 in the 6th. And then they would add 1 more. Iwao Saga dropping down the bunt, playing a little bit of small ball to make it 3-0. Top of the 8th, Bandits threatening with Akahara, and that is an easy 6-4-3 turn by the defense, and Arashi Kiba sending the Monarchs into the playoffs. Choji Bando grounding out to first to end it. And ladies and gentlemen, your number 8 seed is the Lost City Monarchs, winning 3-0 in Game 3. So with B. Farrell getting to 20 wins, YG's Green Revolution had a chance to put themselves in great position to potentially win the regular season championship. Now, on paper, it was a favorable matchup for the Green Revolution against Serena's Osaka Foxes, but in seasons past, Serena has been able to dial up the pressure on opponents at a moment's notice. With a sweep, YG would go to 21 wins and give them at least a top 2 seed in the league, but would Serena take a game or two off the defending United States champion? To the highlight reel we go for Green Revolution. Osaka Foxes game 1. Picking up bottom of the second. Haitani at the plate. First and second, 2 outs. And a grounder right back to Maguro. Tossed to first in time to end that threat. And then the pitchers took over to Nakayama. Striking out Kyushu there in the top of the 4th. And then Maguro for the Osaka Foxes. Striking out Shido swinging in the 4th. Top of the 5th. To Nakayama against Jitsu. Yeah, high fork ball, can't catch up to that. And then the top of the 8th, first and third, 2 outs for the Foxes. Shiohime strikes out against Bano Kujo. Then the top of the 9th, runner on second, 2 outs. Demai Wong pops it up for the Foxes, and Azuma makes the play to retire the side there. Bottom of the 9th, first and second, 1 out for Sendo, and Maguro forces him to ground into a 4-6-3 double play. This went to extra innings, and we start in the top of the 10th. A 1-1 count to Tojo. Both runners go, a swing and a miss, but Zenzai caught stealing third. Couple of pitches later, 2-2. Demai Wong going, a swing and a miss for strike 3, and a throw him out double play to end it. And then bottom of the 10th, second and third, 1 out. Yuto Saiga popping it up into right field. Demai Wong. Oh, an accidental jump right there to end it. Would have more than likely been a sac fly anyway, but either way, YG wins it 1-0 in 10 in game 1. Game number 2 between the Foxes and the Revolution. Top of the 1st, Hajime Sayeki striking out against Zenzai. Her only strikeout of the game. Bomb 1. Atsumori with a runner on second. Grounds out to second to end that threat for the Foxes. Bottom of the 3rd, Jitsu at the plate facing Danseki Suzaku. Got him looking, strike 3. And then in the bottom of the 5th, Tsukumo facing Suzaku. A little bit of a pop-up there with a runner in scoring position. Saiga making the play. Top of the 6th, runner on first, 2 outs for the Green Revolution, and Myojin drives into center field. Dadon can't quite catch up to it. That would score a runner all the way from first to make it a 1-0 ball game. And then the top of the 7th, Remy Shido against Tomoe Tsukami lines that one into center field. Dadon can't quite catch up with it. Tumbles head over heels, and Remy Shido will end up at third with a 1-out triple, and the Green Revolution would capitalize. Minazuki at the plate pops it up into left center field. Tsukumo there. And Tsukumo, well, he does not have an arm. That allows the runner to score easily, 2-0. Then in the bottom of the 9th, Suzaku going for the complete game, gets a ground ball to second to Sayeki, and the Green Revolution take the first 2 of the series and get to 20 wins. 2-0 the final score here in Game 2. Game 3 for the Revolution against the Foxes. And this time it was the Revolution getting things going first. Atsumori facing Remy Shido. Launches into center field into the second row. 2-run homer to make it 2-0. Top of the 6th. Foxes trying to get something going. Runners on first and third with 2 outs, but Zenzai grounding out to second to end that threat. Bottom of the 6th. Sendo at the plate facing Atsumori. Lines it up the middle with a runner on third. That would score the runner easily. 3-0 Green Revolution. And then Minazuki launching a meatball from Atsumori into the left field bleachers off the scoreboard to make it 5-0. Foxes would get a run though. Sora Tsukumo with a base hit in the center field right in front of Shido. That would make it 5-1. But it would be a little too late. Zenzai against Amazaki in the top of the 9th, striking out swinging, and then with 2 outs and a runner on first, Tomoe Tsukami facing Amazaki. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that would end off the sweep for the Green Revolution and get them to 21 wins. And so, folks, here we are. The final series of the regular season, and the one that would determine who would win the regular season championship and an automatic berth in the E-Premier 12 USA Finals in North Carolina. With YG's sweep over the Osaka Foxes, Zumikaku's North Shore Honu, who come in with 19 wins, needed to win 2 of 3 against Slimefall's Purple Hurricanes to take home the regular season title, given the tiebreakers he has over YG. However, Slimefall said before the series that he would be going through a training arc to prepare for this series. With the Hurricanes eliminated from the playoffs, could Slimefall play spoiler and give YG the title, or would Zumikaku officially go wire to wire to take the spot in North Carolina? A champion will be decided with this series between the Purple Hurricanes and the North Shore Honu. Pick this one up in the top of the first. Kino facing off against Yashima. Gets a little floater into center field. Kagami couldn't quite get it, and then it goes under his glove, and Yashima's gonna run for quite a while. He would step on second, go for third. He would have a lead-off triple, and the Honu would capitalize. Ichijo, the next batter, lines this one into center field. Kagami makes the play. Kagami has a good arm, but the throw is wide. 1-0 Honu. Bottom of the first, Yuya Uraga at the plate facing Kureba. Launches the curveball from Kureba into left center field to tie this ball game up at 1 apiece. 130 meters on the homer. We would be seeing a lot more from Uraga in this one. Bottom of the third, still 1-1. Uraga, with nobody on, launches into left field just around the foul pole for their second home run of the day to make it a 2-1 ball game. Top of the fourth, Honu threatening with runners on first and third, nobody out. Kiriki, fly ball into right field. Hasiaku makes the catch, and the runner comes in to score to tie the ball game at 2. Top of the sixth, still tied at 2. 2 on, 1 out for Takimoto. Launches it into right field, and that gets down for an RBI double to make it 3-2. And they would extend that lead. Kiriki with a high fly ball deep into center field. Kagami couldn't quite get it. Kiriki would have 2 runs score on that double, and the Honu up 5-2. We go bottom of the sixth, 5-3 now, and then Ninomiya would tie this ball game with a high fly ball home run to right center field. 2-run shot to tie it up at 5. Bottom of the seventh, Lifter Tsukami facing Kureba, launches the fork ball into center field, giving the Purple Hurricanes the lead 6-5. And then, with the bases loaded, Keon Domon, grand salami to put the Hurricanes up big in this one. That would make it 10-5. They would eventually score another run to make it 11-5. Top of the ninth, 2 outs. Sakuma grounding out to second to retire the side and the game. Hurricanes take game 1 11-5, and then the Honu need to win the next 2 games to take home the regular season title. But could they? As we go to game number 2 between the Honu and the Hurricanes. And the Honu treated it like it was a big game. Bottom of the first, Asa, with runners on first and second, 1 out, gets a base hit into center field. That would score a run. Runner going to third, out at third, 1-0 Honu. Bottom of the second, first and third, nobody out for Yashima. And he lines it into left field for a base hit, and that would make it a 2-0 ball game for the Honu. Still bottom second, Asa. Sakuranomiya on second. And that one's lined into right center field. Sakuranomiya would come in to score, and that would make it a 3-0 ball game for the Honu. Top of the fourth, Yuya Uraga at the plate and still terrorizing the Honu. Home run number 3 of the series for Yuya Uraga, and that would make it a 3-1 ball game, but too much Honu in this one. Runner on second with 1 out for Sakuranomiya, who gets a base hit in the right center field. That would make it a 4-1 ball game. Top of the seventh, though, Lifter Tsukami trying to get the Hurricanes back in this one, and he launches a solo shot to left center field to make it 4-2. but the Honu would pull away in the bottom of the 7th. 5-2 the score now. Shiroi with a ground ball base hit through the left side. That would score a 6th run for the Honu, and the Hurricanes could not respond. Tsukami with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. 7-2 the score now, and that would be how the score would end. And the Honu, 1 game away from clinching the regular season title. 7-2 victory in game number 2, setting up what would be a showdown in game number 3 between the Purple Hurricanes and the Honu. A must-win game for the Honu to win the title. Top of the 2nd, Sakuranomiya at the plate facing Tachikawa, 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Lines out to 2nd, right to that guy Uraga. Bottom of the 2nd, 1st and 2nd with 2 outs for Sanban Matsu, but he can't capitalize. Shiroi making the catch. Top of the 4th, 1st and 2nd, nobody out for the Honu. Hoshimitsu Hoshizora with a base hit in the left field. Kazanin with the throw, not even close, and the Honu take a 1-0 lead in the 4th. Still in the 4th, Shiroi gets a ground ball to short, but Yavalin airmails the throw, and that would bring in a 2nd run for the Honu to make it 2-0. Bottom 4, Hasiaku for the Hurricanes grounds into a 4-6-3 to end a 1st and 3rd threat there. And then the top of the 5th, Kuriki grounds into a 4-3 ground out with runners on the corners. Bottom of the 5th, Kagami at the plate against Asa. Yaben Diansu opts to try to go for the double play, but they can only get 1, allowing a runner to score from 3rd to make it 2-1. Then 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, Yuya Uraga once again terrorizing the Honu, this time a 2-run single, and that gave the Hurricanes a 3-2 lead. Top 6, 1st and 2nd, 2 outs for the Honu as they try to at least tie the ball game, but Tachikawa forces the pop out. Then top of the 9th, 3-2. Yashima keeps the Honu's hopes alive with a base hit in the left center field, but this is how it ended.
And we take it. We did it, Yabe, for you. We take the series. We finally did it.
A ground out to end the ball game and give YG the regular season title, and this is how it sounded on Zumi's stream.
Oh, that's it! Oh, GG's fine. Oh,
Purple Hurricanes upsetting the Honu in what was a fantastic series to end the regular season, 3-2 the final in Game 3. All right, that was a thrilling ending to the regular season. Congratulations again to YG and the Green Revolution for winning the regular season title in the USA eBaseball Power League. A fantastic accomplishment. And with that, here are the final regular season standings in the USA eBaseball Power League. At the end of the regular season in the USA eBaseball Power League, it is YG's Green Revolution taking home the regular season title and punching their ticket to North Carolina and the ePremier 12 USA Finals with a record of 21-6. Taking home the 2nd seed will be the North Shore Honu, owned by Zumi Kaku, with a record of 20-7, and their plus 61 run differential puts them above B. Farrell 10's Philadelphia Bandits, also at 20-7, with a plus 39 run differential. They will take the 3rd seed. The 4th seed will go to the Space City Comets, owned by Compass, with a record of 19-8, and the 5th seed will go to the North Pole No Sox, owned by Sir Bacon Bits, at 18-9. And 6th place, you have the Soderbeer Sunrise and Penguin Pouch, with a record of 17-10, and their head-to-head match against the Crowhoppers helped them move into that 6th spot, with the Crowhoppers moving into the 7th seed at a similar record of 17-10. And rounding out the playoff teams will be the Lost City Monarchs and iPump Plastic at a record of 15-12. They will receive the 8th seed. The White Comets are the first team eliminated from the playoffs with a record of 15-12 after a valiant comeback effort in the final weeks. Then you have the Purple Hurricanes and Slimefall at 13-14, over the Dot Crew in 11th place with a record of 13-14 as well. The Smooth Jazz, owned by Jeff DeBoss, finished the regular season at 12-15 in 12th place. Then you have the Tabby Cats in 13th, the Bay Area Rockets in 14th, the Wild Jokers in 15th, the Flickin' Squibs in 16th, the Osaka Foxes in 17th, and rounding out the standings, the Chicago Curve in 18th place. And with that, the Summit Series playoffs begin this week. Or began, since this video comes out later in the week, with the best of 3 quarterfinals between our top 8 teams. Whoever wins the quarterfinals moves on to the best of 3 semifinals, and the winner of that goes to the best of 5 Summit Series. Let's take a look at the bracket for the Summit Series playoffs. The quarterfinals of the USA eBaseball Power League will see the number 1 seed Green Revolution, owned by YG, take on the number 8 seed Lost City Monarchs, owned by iPump Plastic, in a rematch of what was a fantastic Week 7 series. The winner of that series will take on the winner of the number 4 seed Space City Comets and the number 5 seed North Pole No Sox, owned by Sir Bacon Bits. The winner of that series will take on the winner of the number 4 seed Space City Comets, owned by Compass, and the number 5 seed North Pole No Sox, owned by Sir Bacon Bits. On the bottom half of the bracket, you have the number 3 seed Philadelphia Bandits, owned by B Farrell 10. They'll be taking on the number 6 seed the Soda Beer Sunrise, owned by Penguin Pouch. And the winner of that series will take on the winner of the number 2 seed North Shore Honu, owned by Zumikaku, taking on the number 7 seed Crowhoppers, owned by MC Scales. All right, folks, let the playoffs begin! Who do you think is going to win the Summit Series and grab an automatic berth to North Carolina for the ePremier 12 USA Finals? Sound off in the comments below. We'll see you next time for a recap of all that went down in the Summit Series quarterfinals. Until then, have a great day, everybody, and ball go far.